young reading. But the Burglar's Breakfast.
By Felicity Everett. Illustrated.
Felicity is a fairy, Mama.
Yes,
Cinderella's fairy godmother.
absolutely, Daniel. Illustrated by Christian Fox,
Who is Christian Fox?
an illustrator.
And he was a Christian.
Breakfast. Alfie Briggs was a burglar, but he wasn't a good one. Tonight he'd stolen a broken lawnmower and a bird. A talking bird. It almost woke up the whole street. "Button it, bird brain," he said. "Stop thief! Stop thief!" cried the talking bird. After a hard night, Alfie liked to go home to a tasty breakfast. Breakfast was his main meal of the day. He always ate at least 3 courses. He tried to make sure he never ran out of the 5 breakfast foods he liked best. Looking around his kitchen, it was easy to see what they were.
Cornflakes.
Waffles, sardines, eggs, and fruit. So his 5 favorite foods were cornflakes, sardines, waffles, eggs, and fruit. No breakfast. Alfie's stomach gave a hungry growl. It was time for breakfast. What shall I have first? Cornflakes, I think," said Alfie. He hunted high. He was up on a chair. And low. He was down on his knees. But he couldn't find the cornflakes. "That's funny. I thought I had a box left." Just then, he noticed a trail of cornflakes leading out of the door and up the street. It could only mean one thing. "I've been burgled," said the burglar Alfie. Someone had stolen Alfie's cornflakes. He decided to track down the thief and get back his breakfast. On the trail, nose pressed against his magnifying glass, Alfie followed the cornflakes trail. "Just wait till I find out who stole my cornflakes." He followed the trail into the park. He followed it to Pet's Corner. The thief would be sorry he'd stolen from Alfie. Suddenly, Alfie came face to face with the thief. The thief looked even grumpier than Alfie. What's more, he had 2 sharp horns. "Oops," said Alfie. Nice goat," said Alfie. The goat glared. Perhaps he didn't like having his breakfast interrupted. "I don't think I want cornflakes after all. Too crunchy," said Alfie, trembling, scared of the goat. On his way home, Alfie thought about what he'd have for breakfast instead of cornflakes. Scrambled egg, nice and runny with lots of butter. Feeling happier, he strode along when crunch! Alfie stepped on a broken eggshell beside the hedge. "Someone else has had the same idea," he said and grinned. He thought he knew who that someone was. Alfie knelt down. He crawled through a hole in the hedge. On the other side were more broken shells and one happy fox. "Been raiding Farmer Till's chickens, have you? Ha 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 ha. Good luck to you," said Alfie to the fox. The fox ran off. Alfie spotted something. he spotted his own egg basket. "The little rascal! Those eggs weren't Farmer Till's at all. They were mine. Alfie's eggs. That's my basket with Alfie's eggs written on it." Alfie was cross. First, his cornflakes had been snaffled by a greedy goat. Now, his plan for eggs had been scrambled by a cheeky fox. He wanted to eat scrambled eggs, but his plan had been scrambled. Do you eat scrambled eggs, David and Daniel?
Yes.
Who made
My dad's special egg.
your dad's special egg? Is it scrambled? What else does it have in it?
It has cheese,
Cheese and
milk,
milk,
salt.
salt. Does it have methi leaves?
No, sometimes.
Sometimes. He stomped home. He flung open his front door. Then he stormed into the kitchen. Cat and mouse. "This is getting beyond a joke," said Alfie as he looked into his refrigerator. "Right," Alfie said crossly. "It will have to be sardines. Now where did I put them?" Huh? He was staring at an empty plate. All 6 sardines had vanished. By this time he had a good idea who the thief was. "Tibbles, keep your thieving paws to yourself." He screamed aloud to Tibbles, his
Stolen cat.
his cat.
His stolen cat. He had stolen
Is it?
cat.
"Out! Out!" "It's a dog's life," thought Tibbles. Alfie was furious. First, no cornflakes. Then no eggs. Now no sardines. He would have to make waffles. Alfie set the table and turned on the oven. Then he went to get his waffles. Grr! Someone had beaten him to it. Luckily, they'd left a trail. Alfie followed it. "Cheese not good enough for you, eh, you little villains?" said Alfie to the 2 mice, who were fast asleep after having eaten his waffles. The thieves hadn't eaten the waffles, but now Alfie didn't want to eat them either. Can you tell me why?
Because they had eaten it.
They had made a bed out of his waffles. Yes? They had made a bed. Would you eat your waffles if 2 mice were sleeping on it?
No.
Sugar shock. Alfie sighed. No.
Cornflakes. No eggs. No sardines. No wafers.
No cornflakes, no eggs, no sardines, no waffles. Was there anything to eat? Aha! He was in luck. There was a big juicy grapefruit in the fruit bowl. Mmm, lovely, said Alfie. He licked his lips. I'll just get the sugar. What kind of sneaky low-down creep steals the sugar from under my nose? It wasn't just one sneaky creep. There were hundreds, but they were very small. Who were those sneaky creeps, Danu?
Ants.
Danu, who were those sneaky creeps who were stealing Alfie's sugar?
Ants.
Who?
Ants.
Ants. Alfie took out his magnifying glass. He'd soon find out who was making off with his sugar. Still no breakfast. By the time Alfie had solved the mystery, there wasn't a single grain of sugar left. The ants had gone marching past, each ant carrying one sugar crystal high above its head. Alfie felt hungry and very, very cross. How do you feel when you're hungry? Happy or cross?
Cross. Like how I am now.
No cornflakes, no eggs, no sardines, no waffles. He yelled. A few seconds later, he had no grapefruit either. As Alfie cut the grapefruit and flung it out the window, he said, "What good is a grapefruit without any sugar?" Then he paused. Oh dear. Maybe this was how people felt when he burgled their houses. Alfie felt ashamed. But he also still felt hungry. There was only one thing left to do. He would have to go out for breakfast. I'm going to buy breakfast. I'll need to find some, what do you call that stuff again?
Money.
Money, thought the dog. Paper plan. At Rosie's cafe, Alfie ate an enormous breakfast. But even that didn't cheer him up. As he ate, he thought, I don't want to be a burglar anymore. But what else can I do? As he drank his coffee, Alfie glanced at the newspaper. He read something which gave him an idea. He took a closer look.
Need a job? Can you follow trails? Can you track down stolen goods? Can you catch crooks? Can you spot clues? Can you keep a cool head? The Stop a Thief Detective Agency need you.
Well read, David. Can I follow trails? Thought Alfie, remembering his trip to the park. Can I track down stolen goods? He wondered. Without even trying, he said. Can I catch crooks? He asked himself. I certainly can, and Tibbles won't steal my fish again. Can I spot clues? He said. He rubbed his chin. Ha! I can spot clues almost invisible to the naked eye, just the way I spotted the ant stealing my sugar. A new job. I can do all of those things, said Alfie. Then he read the last line of the list.
Can you keep a cool head?
Can I keep a cool head? Well, I can do most of those things, thought Alfie. Alfie shrugged. He hadn't been cool about the grapefruit. But who can keep their cool when they're very hungry? Can you, David?
No.
Can you, Daniel?
No.
No. The Stop a Thief Detective Agency gave Alfie a job the same day. The boss had never known anyone like him. On his first day, Alfie caught a gold thief. Caught red-handed, he said to the thief. Alfie caught more crooks in his first week than all the other detectives put together. And he never stole another thing. Not even
Breakfast.
And this is the end of The Burglar's Breakfast by Felicity Everett.
Felicity is a fairy.
There are other books in this series. The Dinosaurs Next Door. Stan the dinosaur loves living next door to Mr. Puff. His house is full of amazing things. Best of all are the dinosaur eggs, until they begin to hatch. The other book in this series is The Monster Gang. Starting a gang is a great idea. So is dressing up like monsters. But if everyone is in disguise, how do you know who's who? This story is dedicated to David and Daniel Dessar for being observant, obedient, and awesome boys to their mama and papa, Rizal and Sergio Dessar. Thank you, Lord.